Hi everyone. As you can see, today I'm in Auschwitz, the concentration camp of concentration camps here in Poland. And it's very easy to come here and be emotional. It's very easy to come and cry here and think about everything that happened in this very place. But to quote Rav Noach Weinberg, the former Rosh Yeshiva Aish, the founder of Aish, if you're not crying every night, if you're not taking these same tears from these people that perished here, and when you're going home, if you're not crying every night for the millions of Jews that are lost every day, you don't really care about the Jewish people. I'm going to go a step further and say that you're throwing those Jews that are so precious in with the Jews that were killed here against their will. And just like to share a piece of Torah from this week's Parshat Metzora, answering the question of how do we not allow this catastrophic event to happen again. So in this week's Parsha, the Eish Kodesh, the Pietzesna Rebbe, who died in Majdanek, which I was in 2 days ago, was executed there. And he says on this week's Parsha that there's a case this week where if you get sarad, this affliction, leprosy on your house, how do you take care of it? How do you get rid of it? So if you follow all of the rules, all the procedures, and you quarantine from the community, and you pull out each brick of your house that's inflicted brick by brick, then you'll be rewarded. You'll be rewarded with treasure that's been in your house from years, from the times of the Canaanites in Israel. And if you do that, again, you'll be rewarded with this treasure. So too, the Eish Kodesh says, everything we do, even if it's painful, even if God afflicts us and it's very painful and we have to quarantine and we have to pull out brick by brick the bricks of our houses, it all ends up latova, for the good. Now, it's very nice that everything will end up ultimately for the good, but we shouldn't rely on that. We shouldn't rely on miracles to happen. We shouldn't rely on being liberated from camps like this. We should instead be proactive instead of reactive and not get ourselves into this situation in the first place. And to quote the Meshech Chochmah, one of the most prominent rabbis, Jewish thinkers pre-war, he said, once Jews start calling Berlin in Germany, where the Nazi Party was founded, once Jews start calling Berlin their Jerusalem, which is what the founders of Reform Judaism started to do, that will cause mass destruction and assimilation. And little did he know, 20 years after his death, the Holocaust happened. So for all of us, it's how do we not allow another catastrophe like this to happen again? So with Pesach coming up next week, in the beginning of Magid, in the beginning of storytelling, in the middle of the Seder, we say V'hisha Amda Lavotinu. And it's all about how Hashem has saved us from our enemies generation after generation. And what do we do when we say V'hisha Amda? We raise our cup of wine. And why do we raise our cup of wine? Because the cup of wine itself is why we've been able to survive generation after generation and be the only eternal nation on earth. Because the wine is holy, it's kadosh, and we make kiddush on the wine. And what does that mean? What does this word kadosh mean? It means holy, right? But more to that, it has a connotation of separateness. And wine itself, if a non-Jew touches a Jew's wine, the Jew cannot drink that wine anymore, which just shows the separateness, which shows why we've been V'hisha Amda, why we've been able to stand up generation after generation against our enemies. And in the Torah, the Jewish people were called the Mamlecha Kohanim V'Goy Kadosh. We, the Jewish people, are called Kadosh. We're called separate, and that's why we've been able to survive. So, I'm giving everyone a call to action, as well as a bracha, that we're able to embrace our kadoshness, our holiness, our separateness. Embrace that we are the people of God. We're the only eternal nation, even though we're not strong, even though we're not so large. We are the eternal nation for a reason. And hopefully with that, we're able to continue that trend for millennia, right? And we really have to embrace that not only are we the eternal nation, but we're God's nation as well. And with that, hopefully we will avoid another catastrophe like this from ever happening again. And with that, that, I wish you all Shabbat Shalom.
I felt it was necessary to add this because now I'm one of the very few lucky ones who have been able to actually exit Auschwitz. And I felt it was necessary to say that once you say, I'm going to take my kippah off, I'm not going to wear my kippah today, or I don't have to keep Shabbos this week because it's inconvenient for me, you're stripping yourself of your own identity. You're kissing your grandchildren, you're kissing your great-grandchildren goodbye. That your ancestors that went through this catastrophe, this Holocaust, right, they gave their lives for. So by stripping ourselves of our identity, we're giving up. We're actually giving up. And now the fact that it's not inconvenient for us. When is it actually inconvenient for us? When we're in the camps here. Yeah, our ancestors that were in the camps, they had an excuse. They could say, I'm not going to wear my kippah today, or I'm not going to keep Shabbos. Why? Because I'm going to die. But we have no excuse. So with that, now I wish you a good Shabbos, and it's our mission, now that we're out, to keep the line going, to keep our religion going. Shabbos.